Hi, everyone. Harry here to talk about Donald Trump's assurance that he'll pardon himself, but more than that, his demand that every Republican in the race promise to pardon him. Okay, so the report is he's basically made this a demand. Everybody has to make this pledge. It's such a total Trumpian move, and it makes DeSantis and Haley and Scott and everyone who would want either to criticize him or just stay at arm's length. They're so stuck because he's just got his one weapon, which is the terrorist technique, basically, of his base. And so he pushes them to support a pardon, just like when the Mar-a-Lago charges came out. They had to fall into lockstep and call it politicized, et cetera, even though grown-ups on the Republican side are increasingly clear that it isn't. But just notice the political maneuver here. If they don't meet the pledge, then they are sort of, turncoats, and they're in with Biden, and he can attack them on that ground. If they do, it's just more attention on him, on the supposed unfairness of the charges, and of course, a kind of insurance policy if they become elected and he falls away. All right, now underlying all this are legal issues. Let's start with the big one. Can Trump pardon himself if he gets into office? People have often said pardon power is plenary. You can do anything with it. No constitutional restrictions. That's just wrong. You can't use the constitutional pardon power to break the law otherwise. You can't, use it to pardon only people of a certain race or to reprisals for speech or whatever. That's anyone who thinks about it seriously has to acknowledge that. All right, but so can a president pardon himself? Of course, an unprecedented situation. The only time there was a whiff of it was with Nixon, when I think the assumption was he couldn't and he needed Ford to do it. Otherwise, he couldn't issue a pardon before leaving. What's the basic point here? That there is a embedded bedrock principle in the Constitution and just Anglo-American law that no person can be the judge in his or her own cause. So it would be an illegality that would supersede whatever or define the limits of the pardon power as set out in the Constitution to pardon oneself. Now, how would that come up? Would the Supreme Court take it on or call it a political question? The actual execution of that illegality would be a very, very gnarly question. By execution, I mean having it served up for determination and by the courts, and the Supreme Court would itself be a big gnarly mess. But I think the right answer is no. A president cannot pardon himself or herself because no person can be the judge in their own cause. What about all the other Republican candidates who are making this promise? Let's say they execute it. Anything wrong with that? Yes, very possibly. So what the short answer would be, would it be seen as simply regular horse trading, unsavory, nasty, seamy, but not illegal? Or would it be seen as tantamount to a bribe? In other words, you're sacrificing your duty to take care to enforce the laws in order to get elected. Same as if you gave a payoff because you have to do that and make that pledge in order to stand as a candidate. At a minimum, I think it's quite clear it would not be enforceable. So if somebody becomes president and they think better of it, it wouldn't be enforceable. But if they execute it, it would be a rich difficult question whether it would be lawful, and an even more vexing question how exactly it would be served up. All right, I normally end by saying talk to you later, but on this one we have to fervently hope that this question stays in the realm of the academic inquiry and not an actual legal dispute. So I'll hope and pray on this pardon issue that I've given you my basic skinny, and I won't talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.